welcome to my studio. We get so many questions on the Coyote Gourds and how to clean them that we thought we'd do another video just to kind of explain things and then also demonstrate how we do clean them. The Coyote Gourds grow wild in the West, and first of all I want to tell you they are an invasive plant. You do not want to plant these. The farmers hate them. The vines can grow about 25 feet, but underneath they even grow longer, up to 75 feet. So once you've got them, you can never get rid of them. So we always tell you, do not plant these. We go out and pick these wild. They grow really good in ditches, in tumbleweeds, in foxtails. So sometimes we're picking them up to bushes that are 4 feet tall. This year we had more rain and we actually couldn't even see them. We had to kind of find them with our feet. So it's a real hard process to kind of get these picked. So we kind of want to let you know that as well. We've also get questions about the Coyote Gourd versus the Buffalo Gourd. I think the Buffalo Gourd grows more in kind of the Midwest, Oklahoma, Kansas, that area. I know they say there's a difference in the way the leaf looks, and usually the Buffalo Gourds I think are a little bit bigger, but I do know that people that have picked them and have put them in their car and they have to get rid of them because they say they smell like onions so bad. But they are very similar to the Coyote Gourd, and I'm sure the process would be exactly the same if you are able to do that. When you go out and pick them, you want to make sure that the vines are dead, just like your regular gourds. The plant needs to be dying or dead. For what we're doing, the green ones are actually harder for the process. I like them a nice and yellow kind of color because they're already starting to get rid of their moisture and they're easier to peel when they have turned down to that yellow. They do have the small ones. They can grow from this size to this size, so there's a big difference. But when you're picking the smaller ones, you want to make sure that they are just a small one and not a baby one, because if it's a baby one, it's going to end up shriveling up on you as well. And you can see the difference definitely in the colors here, and it's starting to go the different shades. So that's, like I said, the yellower the better. The plants are dying really well versus one that still is really green and on the vine. So you want to make sure that you pick them at the right time. Most of them are round. That's why people really like these, but we do find some once in a while that are a little bit egg-shaped. Not very many, but these are kind of fun as well. Most people pick them when they've been out in the wild for the year. They've dried out and everything. So you get a Coyote Gourd that still has its skin on it, and you've got to clean it, and usually you do that by sanding it. But because they leave it out in the elements so much, they're really a lot more fragile and they're a lot easier to break. So that is one of the reasons that we pick them, and then we do green peel them. It's not out there all year. It's not getting exposed to those elements, so it makes them a little bit stronger. But they are thin shell. That's another question that we get a lot. You can see how real thin the shell is. So we do not recommend carving on these, but we have several people that would burn on them. And I have done some jack-o'-lanterns and stuff in the past, and I will break about every third one. So it can be done. It's just a little bit harder. Here's one that was treated a little bit more gently for the year. It was inside, but it never got cleaned all the way. Once you peel them, this was a freshly peeled one, they start to turn white to a gold. These are last year's crop, so it kind of depends. They can turn a very gold color as well as a lighter pale yellow. So there's kind of the difference in colors as well. I also want to do a close-up and show you. We get a lot of people that thinks that the gourds are cracked, and this is just part of the beast. You just get these little stress cracks up the top. They don't go any further than that. They don't hurt your crafts. I've been using them for years that way, but that's just the way they grow, and that's just part of it. So don't worry about that. You could also get a little bit of dimpling on the gourd, which I think is fine, but they also can do it on the bottoms, and we have a lot of people that love that because then you have the more flat bottoms where you can build a snowman and everything on, and they don't run away from you. So a lot of people prefer the ones with the flat over the round. So to clean these, I use a paring knife, and you're going to find ones that work better. I actually have my little old one that I actually prefer the best. And what we're going to do is just start and just peel them just like you would a carrot or something like that. I actually have used a peeler. It works okay, but remember your gourds aren't really flat. You could try that method. You might like that better. I sit down and do this while I am watching TV, and I do, you know, a few in the evening, but that is one of the reasons that we have to charge a little more. It is time consuming, and then we have to dry them, which we'll talk a little bit as we go as well. And just clean these all the way around, get all of the skin off, and I would like this one even a little bit more yellow. It would be a little bit easier. That's one of the reasons that I talk about getting the yellow ones versus the green ones. And I do get calluses, and my finger gets sore. I do wrap my finger. I will put a little bit of padding here and wrap it with a piece of tape so that I don't get blisters as bad. But I do work up calluses and everything this time of year, if you've ever noticed that doing my videos. So that is something that we just comes with the territory. And now you kind of understand a little bit more of all the work that goes into these. And not only that is because when we ship you a box of these, it costs a little bit more because the package is bigger, and we have to keep one constant shipping price, so we have to adjust our shipping cost onto our gourds as well. So that's something that we have to consider. I just take the end of my knife and I kind of clean the edges around to get that really clean. But that is kind of how we clean one of these. And I've gotten through this a little bit here. And my hand is cramping, which is normal, I guess. So I kind of stop and do something different. You also can have some of these, if they're drying too fast, shrivel up. This is, again, part of just the process. So don't be scared if they're starting to shrivel up. You should only have a few of them that do that. We take ours out when it is sunshiny and put them into the sun or into a place where it's very dry. If we're doing this on a humid day, it wouldn't be a good thing. You want to make sure that it's drier. These skins really start to dry out really fast. You start to get the water once you release that skin and let that start to open up. Here's one that's just been done a little while ago, and you can see it already starting to change. And it depends on our weather, how fast they dry. If we're having humid weather, it's going to take a couple weeks longer, so we can't always tell you when they're going to be ready, and that is one of the reasons. So I think we've covered about as many questions as I can on how we do these. Another thing to do is when you're drying these, turn them. Don't leave them set in one position. You want to pick them up and shake them and turn them around so that they're always in a different position. But there's tons of things that you can do with these. I have a lot of ornaments for Christmas. I've made some fall ones. I've used them for all kinds of different things. Snowmen, all kinds of different things, because they're one of the few gourds out there I can only think of one other one, and I have only seen it once, that is perfectly round and ornament size. So that is why people really like these so well. If you ever have a question about this process or anything that we do, you can always email me at art@miriamjoy.com. And if you want to order them pre-done so you don't have to go through all this hard work, come on over to miriamjoy.com. And this is while supplies last, because it is a harder process. So we try to get the orders that we have pre-ordered and then see how it goes from there, but they are limited supply, so get yours ordered so that you're guaranteed to have them, because we do not have them all year long. So thank you so much for joining me today. God bless.